Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
When you've been fortunate to have a long career, which I've been incredibly fortunate to have, people will ask, what's the toughest part of having a long career? And the toughest part of having a long career is very simple. It's the people you lose. And unfortunately, in the past 6 weeks, the past 7 weeks, I've had to open the show a few times talking about people that I thought the absolute world of and lost. And unfortunately, today I'll start there, and then we'll go to other things, obviously. John Sanders was the play-by-play voice of Penn State football in 1988 and 1989. Mm-hmm. I was the third person on the broadcast, with George Paterno being the analyst at the time. And to say John and I became really good friends would be an understatement, because even after he had moved on, because he did the Pittsburgh Pirates for years with Lanny Fratteri, but then he went to the Cleveland Indians and was with them for, I think, at least 15, 16 years. John and I remained really close. Mm. And because we just, for whatever reason, struck up a great friendship. You want to talk about a terrific pro who could do anything. Mm-hmm. Baseball on ESPN, Pirates baseball, right? Basketball in the Big East. He did some Penn State basketball games as well. You know, that helped keep us like connected over time, because he'd be at the Jordan Center for a game, and it was like, okay, now he's in town, we can go to dinner, things like that. And I know he lost Sherry, his wife, a couple of years ago. His two daughters are just tremendous. Mm-hmm. But he passed away. He turned 83 a week ago, and he passed away yesterday. You want to talk about one of the classiest, nicest, unassuming guys you'd ever want to be around. Now, he did all but, the 2-year run, there was actually a game he did miss, and that was the Virginia game in 1989, and they had the third guy fill in. That's actually, people don't realize, my first Penn State network play-by-play assignment was that game in 1989. But you want to talk about somebody who couldn't have been more supportive. I always tell this story about at Notre Dame, Penn State stayed in Michigan City. Well, Michigan City is just over the line into Central Time. Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Okay. Now, okay. So the game was going to be an early game. I want to say it was at noon. And John had a car. So instead of going with the team, because Joe would leave a little later, and that's something that Jack and I are going to have to discover what Matt Campbell's MO is in terms of when he leaves. Because with James, we were able to take the bus in with the team. John had a car. And we came back from dinner, and John and I are standing in the lobby, and George comes over, and George says, hey, what time are we going to leave? And John says, hey, Steve, what do you think? Because I'd been out to Notre Dame before, so I had a better gauge on time than John had in terms of how long the trip was from Michigan City. And I said, maybe 7:30 would be good. John says, great, 7:30. And George looking at the two of us like, wait a minute. 7:30 their time or 7:30 this time? Right? And like John looks, he goes, what? 7:30. Right? and George asked it again. I gently took George's arm, and I looked at his watch. I said, when your watch says 7:30, we're leaving. And John's laughing. But he was one of the absolutely greatest guys. That's why I stayed in touch with him as long as I did over the years, because we just struck up a great friendship. Just same thing with Stan Savran. Stan was the same way. Stan Savran was a big deal. Who didn't know he was a big deal? John Sanders was a great broadcaster. I mean, remember the night, you wouldn't remember this, but it's a night where Dave Stewart threw a no-hitter for up in Toronto, and Fernando Valenzuela threw a no-hitter.
Okay.
Right? John on ESPN did the Dave Stewart no-hitter. Right? And, it was Jim Rooker, it was Lanny Fratteri, it was John Sanders, and then John moved over to the Indians, where he was there for a long, long time. I think until 2006. But total, complete class, down to earth, great guy, good friend. And a lot of Penn State fans may not remember that John Sanders did play-by-play on radio, but I certainly do, because I learned a lot sitting there, and can't say enough great things about John, who passed away this week at the age of 83. It was Fran Fisher had it, then it was Gil Santos, and then it was Bill Campbell for 5 games in 87. Then it was Lanny Fratteri for the last 6 games, and then John did the games in 89, 88 and 89. And then Bill Zimfer, who, by the way, is just an absolutely terrific play-by-play guy, did the games from 90 to 93. And Bill's also a great guy. I mean, really great guy. But then he got the Miami Dolphins job. Then they brought Fran back, and then we know what happened after that.
Then some guy named Steve started doing games.
Yes,
at some point in there.
Yes, I mean, but I didn't want to disappoint the populace.
No,
so I didn't mention it. But so I just want to at least pay tribute to just a great friend and awesome colleague in John Sanders. So, Penn State fans, he did your games for 2 years.
Last night, Steve Jones going to the world of hockey. Game 5 was, I believe, in Carolina. The Hurricanes won 4-2.
They bookended it. The first and last goals of the game were scored by Vegas. In the middle, there were 4 goals, including Jordan Staal, who's now scored a goal in all 5 games, and that's the first time in the history of the Stanley Cup Final where there have been times where guys have scored goals in 5 Cup Final games, but not the opening 5 games.
Not every single game he scored a goal.
Right. And he continues to play well. And Brandon Bussey continues to be solid in net. Maybe not spectacular, but solid in net. And I also think, and this goes back to, like, you see what the Phillies have done since Don Mattingly took over. Now, they haven't gained a lot of ground on the Braves, which tells you how well the Braves have been playing. But the Phillies have actually had the best record in baseball since Mattingly took over. And what I said at the time was, it's not anything Rob Thompson did wrong, and it's not some magic wand that Don Mattingly's waving. But when you do something like that, it's a shock to the system, right, as to how you're playing. And guys elevate their game. When you change goalies, they took out Freddie Anderson, and I don't think Anderson was even active last night. I don't think he was. And they put Bussey in. Carolina, Bussey's been good. He's been solid. But I also think Carolina has played better in front of him because it was the shock to the system that the ever-reliable Freddie Anderson's back there, and they changed.
And that usually swings one with 2 different directions. It depends. Either it swings in one way of like all of a sudden it goes horribly wrong, or in this case where all of a sudden it starts working. Right.
Well, because the other players, I think, stepped up and said, hey, look,
let's take responsibility.
Yeah, we got to play better here, right? And maybe we kind of hung Freddie out to dry a couple of times.
Because we're like, oh, he's great, so we're fine.
Right, and you play better. Now, I don't know if Anderson's hurt at all. It doesn't matter. But Bussey, he'll be the goalie in Game 6 when they go out to Vegas.
Yeah, Game 6 in Vegas. That's on Sunday.
Right, and again, great win last night for them. Got a couple of goals, and Stahl was great again. And Aho got a goal last night. And I mentioned that he had to get going in terms of getting himself on the board, and he was able to get one top of the circle and just drive it past Carter Hart. So now Carolina's 1 win away. For Vegas, they're 1 win away of going back to Raleigh.
Yeah, Carolina's in the driver's seat now, where they have they can win it in 6, or they get to go back home for 7, which is the position you'd like to be in, which is where the Spurs are hoping to get back to some extent, which, of course, Game 5 of the NBA Finals is going to be tomorrow night in San Antonio. It's an 8:30 tip. Knicks, Spurs. We talked about Game 4, but Game 5 is, of course, it's going to be a gigantic game.
And because Victor Wembanyama did not get called for a flagrant on the Brunson play earlier in the series, he can play in this game in Game 5. Again, for the NBA, we can talk about agendas all you want, but you cannot, if you're in the league and you have this rule, this is the face of your league moving forward. It would be the equivalent of LeBron finally makes the finals in 2008 with the Cavaliers, where they lost to San Antonio, right? And he's going to be the face of the league moving forward, and suddenly he's not able to play in game. I think San Antonio won the series in 5.
They did,
but
they ran into a freight train, and then
that's fine. But say he picks up his 4th flagrant, whatever, and all of a sudden he's not available in Game 3. The NBA will be like, hey, we can't have him out. We can't have him out. Right? And that's an agenda. Well, I'm sorry, as part of the business, yes, that is an agenda.
I am really intrigued by how he is going to play in tomorrow's game for a couple of pieces, which one of them is that flagrant piece of he's, of course, got to play really hard, knowing they have to win the game to stay alive. But at the same time, he has had a streak of petulance in the elbow to Naz Reid, in the shoving of Jalen Brunson, and in, of course, when Mitchell Robinson got his flagrant, he was like, I'm in your head. The Knicks then went on a run and won the game.
Right.
And so he's had this petulant streak.
There's immaturity.
Yeah, and that's the piece of it, where he's immature.
And again, that's always been a big issue to me with this league. This league continues to push forward with the one and dones, and he's not a one and done, he's a foreign player. But he falls into he'd be a one and done, because what, he come in at 19?
He came in at 19,
right? Okay, you don't have a mature league in terms of extensive experience or attitude, and he's not there yet with either one. The talent is unquestionable, right? The judgment is not there, okay? It shows up in the flagrants. It shows up with the I'm in your head. And it shows up on the last play where he should not be out there. He should not be out on Brunson.
Or the other way around, where he should be telling Fox, go, I've got him. Do not double him.
Right.
And he doesn't, neither one happens.
Right. But the Brunson shot's a 30-foot shot. Come on. And again, Mike Breen's right, it's online. But remember, what's Mike's angle? You and I, you've sat courtside with us. We can see the angle of shots.
His angle is right where it needs to be to
And
see
the
it
strange thing is that when you're up top, you could tell it was short. You could tell it was short, like 10 feet. It's not going to make it. And Anunoby saw that.
So Anunoby runs in.
Right. Runs in and gets it. But again, Wembanyama, the next stage for him is going to be the maturity stage. It's going to be a big part of it, is the maturity stage. And there are a couple things, and we're going to get to soccer here in a moment, because, I mean, this tonight is a huge night for the sport in this country. And yes, I did watch some of Mexico and South Africa yesterday.
We'll get to soccer in a moment, but Wemby.
But not just Wemby. This is an overall comment. This is an overall comment. What's my biggest complaint about athletes today? My biggest complaint about athletes today starts with the positive. They are the greatest athletes of any era I've seen in my life. in terms of just pure athleticism, speed, jumping ability, bat speed.
You look at it like in my brain, it's like you've got LeBron and Aaron Judge, who are two just like freaks of nature.
It's size on the offensive line, quickness on the defensive line, speed at wide receiver, right? Strength, right?
The skill, the everything.
Okay. So I've taken a lot of time here to praise today's athlete. Now I'm going to tell you the part that I don't praise. I also don't think there are enough players that actually know how to play their sport.
There are a lot of,
some of it is analytics driven because they're being taught to play a certain way because analytics is driving it, and because of, and I apologize for singling out a player. I apologize, but I have to use an example here. De'Aaron Fox did not play a smart game the other night, and he's a really good player. He's a good shooter. He's a decent defender. He does a lot of things well. But no concept of time, score, situation, and I'm not talking about the end. I'm talking about the whole game.
Yeah, pretty much second half onwards.
Like, why are you taking that shot? Here, I don't mind if you're taking shots with 8 to 12 seconds on the shot clock. I don't need you taking the shot at 17. Okay? Because if I'm taking it from 8 to 12, that means every 2 possessions, I've eliminated one of your possessions. That's 24 seconds. Because it becomes a possession game. And if you have a feel for the game, I'm not saying pull the ball back, but if you have a feel for the game, you make a couple of extra passes, get yourself a really good shot. Oh, and it's 8 to 12 seconds. And guess what? The clock is your ally, right? And he was one of those. Vassell was another one that did not understand what they were dealing with here. It was, okay, hey, we got this game. We're good. I'll just fire it up, get mine. I'm going to fire it up and get mine. You're in the finals, right? But there are too many players that don't play smart basketball. Like Josh Hart plays smart basketball sometimes.
Outside of blowing a layup,
right?
And blowing a box out.
But other times doesn't. Like at the end, right? He's fouling the play up at the end until Fox bails him out with a foul. He's fouling the play up. Like, what are you doing? Like, Wembanyama throws an outlet pass, right, that hits the back of a guy out of bounds. You're in the finals. First of all, why isn't the guy looking back? And B, why is he throwing to a guy that hasn't turned around yet? This is the kind of like stuff that makes no sense to me when I watch it. And then the number of threes that are taken, I think the three-point shot is great. But it's the volume with which. Remember when the Celtics were playing? I said, what was the key to the Philadelphia series? I said, if the Celtics are hitting their threes, they'll run them out. I said, but the Celtics have a tendency in certain games to suddenly go 8 for 38.
In the NBA today, there is a live and die by the three mentality that is a real factor.
Right.
Where it is, if you go cold, there are so many teams, the Celtics were the first ones to really where we've seen it go the wrong way.
Right.
Of they embrace it and it goes wrong. The Rockets and the team that went 0 for 27 in a chunk. When you go cold, you go cold, and it blows up your whole game plan.
I just think there are too many. Right?
Yeah.
I want to see a lot. That's fine, because I think the three-point shot is exciting, and the point value, I completely understand it. But there also has to be a feel out there of, okay, wait a minute. Why am I taking 8 straight threes to start the second half? That's not smart basketball. A smart basketball player has a feel for the game and says, hey, after the first 3, let's just say 3. Let's go inside. A smart coach
says, hey, Wemby, go post up real quick.
Calls a timeout and draws a play to get a post play to get something around the rim where you've got an excellent chance at a basket that at that point stops the bleeding and steadies the ship. Instead, they don't do that. They shoot 8 straight threes like you just kept going. Hey, they give you 1,000 timeouts in the NBA. Use one.
there's a reason Jalen Brunson is as good as he is because he has a really good feel for the game.
He does.
To know
Brunson is a really smart player.
He has the ability to get to the rim, to get to a mid-range jumper, and to hit the three to the point where he can do whichever one he feels is best in the moment. Or a player like OG Anunoby or Mikal Bridges, and like the Knicks offense.
There are not enough of them, and I'm not singling out basketball. I see things in hockey, or I'm going, what are we doing here? I see things in baseball I just find bizarre.
So I have a point on this, which is there is an overcorrection to where nowadays, because people have seen certain athletes in certain sports where they're the freaks of nature, where you see LeBron in basketball, you see Aaron Judge in baseball, where you're like, or Calvin Johnson even in football, where they're so vastly different from everybody else that there's a goal to try and find the next insert player here and the next freak athlete. And that's good, but teams are overplaying it to where they're all going with it. Where you seen the draft a few years ago where it was Zach Wilson and Trey Lance, where they were drafted because we saw a couple of freak throws, or you've got Anthony Richardson, where
they've been drafted because of metrics.
Metrics and freak athleticism, where it's like, well, he's got the ability you can't teach, so we'll teach him the rest of it. Yeah, but is a really big one. To where is this guy going to be as good a player as, let's say, a Brunson, who was taken in the second round, who they took him late and they said he's a winner, he knows how to play. And then he used the ability he had and his skill and made it even better versus starting from the ground and working up.
Yeah.
He was working at a better place in terms of the ability, the knowledge, everything, to just be like, okay, well, now I've got to figure out how to use my angles better and work on my shot a little more and work my body a little more. And then all of a sudden, it doesn't matter how athletic you are. If you're a better player, you're a better player.
Like, for example, you watch Rocco Beck play at quarterback. Rocco Beck knows how to play. Like, we can talk about how fast he runs. We can talk about arm strength and all that. Rocco Beck knows how to play. That's a big starting point with me, a guy that knows how to play. The other stuff, I can see the arm strength. I can see, how quick he is when he runs, but he's got a feel for the game that makes a big difference, and that's why he's about to make his 40th consecutive start. Okay?
Yeah.
And because he has that. I watch Carson Hansen, a running back. You can tell as a running back he has a feel for it, right? That makes a big difference. Tony Rojas, right? Oh, he hurts his shoulder, so naturally the social media people complain left and right about blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. Okay, we'll examine your life later. But that showed me guts that he played out that season with it. He's just a smart 3 down I'm talking like Tony is an excellent athlete that has a football mind. Cooper Ebel has a great football mind. So does Marcus Neal, right? Zion Tracy. Right? These are people that you're looking for that know how to play the game besides being great athletes. These are the best athletes in any era of sports. Without question. I don't care if it's the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. This is the best group of athletes ever. But at the same time, I also feel there are not enough that really know how to play their sport. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. You need to be able to be. You need guys like Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, all these players.
Yeah.
And
I think Stephon Castle knows how to play.
Stephon Castle knows how to play. I look at that Spurs team. Of course, you've got Harrison Barnes, who's been there, done that, and knows how to play.
Yeah.
He's not getting minutes because he's not as good of a player as he used to be.
Right, he's just older.
But they know how to play. They know what they're doing. And there's a lot of this guy's really athletic. Let's go see what he's got.
Age is hell, I'm telling you. No, just kidding.
Yeah. Like the reason LeBron stands out so much is because he is both the biggest freak athlete
and smart,
and is the smartest.
And smart.
He's got both.
He's very smart.
Almost no one ever has that. The goal is always to find someone who's got a really good combination of the two.
He's not great at building teams, but he's smart.
But when you put him on a team,
on the court, he's the brains of the operation.
Yeah. So Game 5 going to be tomorrow. We'll see what happens in San Antonio. We'll see what happens with the Knicks, with the Spurs, if Game 6 is going to be required or not. I do want to add in, apparently, a large percentage of tickets that have been bought on the secondary market have been New York and New Jersey.
Yeah, that's fine.
A, because Knicks fans know they could win, and B, ticket prices are currently as low as $1,000. Yeah. They were as low as, $10,000 pretty much, like a day before Game 4? Like
probably higher than that.
But that was the point, is for Knicks fans to fly to San Antonio, have a hotel, and go to this game is cheaper than going to MSG, which is down the street.
First of all, hotel prices are lower.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just in San Antonio, 7 weeks ago?
So let's say it's a little up. Let's say it's $400 for a game because it's crazy.
Food's cheaper, the whole thing's. And if you want to stay at the Riverwalk Marriott, okay, fine. It's going to be a little more money.
But let's say
But the arena isn't there. The arena's out.
But let's say for hotel and food, you're paying like $800. Let's go real high. $800 for that. Let's say to get to and from the stadium, it's $200, $1,000.
Yeah.
Your tickets are $1,200. So that's $2,200. Add in flights. Let's get you to $3,000. It's still cheaper than a ticket to go and see the Knicks in Game 3 or Game 4. It's still cheaper.
Yeah.
So for a lot of Knicks fans, they're doing that, and they're going to be in San Antonio. I don't know what theme the Spurs are going to do, if they're going to do the same like blue-orangey color theme they've been doing for games.
That's irrelevant. Who cares?
I know.
That's just a fun thing.
My point is, there's going to be a whole lot of blue and orange in there.
Yeah.
Because Knicks fans, they've said it, they travel to all these games because it's just cheaper.
Oh, no. I remember when the Red Sox won the World Series at Busch Stadium in 2004. The place was loaded with Boston fans because they hadn't won in 9,000 years. Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm going to blow your mind.
You're going to blow my mind. Okay. Let's hear.
The United States plays Paraguay tonight.
They do.
We know that Pulisic is a great player. Mm-hmm. Flow is, to me, the key to the whole thing for them.
Okay.
Why? Because the United States has been woefully deficient at the striker spot for the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. You are shocked to hear me say that.
Wow. You said the word, you said flow. Wow. Look at that. Look at that.
Right. And the fact that I know the United States has been woeful at the striker spot.
Since essentially Clint Dempsey was at the peak of his powers.
Yeah.
He was the last real good striker the U.S. has had.
They've
gone
one
through Altidore.
Until now.
Yeah. Now Fuller and Balogun is playing up front. He is still up and down for the U.S. They do have options off the bench.
But he probably is the best one they've had in 10 years because that has been a major weakness for the United States. Yeah. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. He acts like I know nothing about it.
And for the U.S.,
you're sitting there in shock right now.
I am in shock. Players who can come off the bench who can play at striker. You've got, of course, Ricardo Pepi, and then Haji Wright, who is a very different profile at 6'4". He's more of the usual go up and get it guy. You can cross to him. He can finish really well. So there's some threats off the bench the U.S. has, but you mentioned their game is tonight against Paraguay, 9 p.m. in L.A.
It's in SoFi.
It is.
Which means, of course, they've trucked in the grass to do it. Mm-hmm. I think they do it on trays.
Yeah. The best player for Paraguay, Julio Enciso, it looks like he's going to be out for this game. He got injured in their last warm-up against Nicaragua. He is really good.
And because I think the group stage is so important, I'd hold him out because I care about athletes.
Steve Jones, the new coach of the Paraguay national team.
No, it's because as somebody who loves sports, I care.
You care, Steve.
Right.
I can tell. I can really tell.
Jack Ham and I do this all the time. Like, hey, I think the running back for their team has a twinge. I mean, Jack, I'd hold him out. And I said, I care about athletes. I think about his long-term health.
Paraguay has lost 4 of 5 matches against the U.S. in their history. They've played against one another. The U.S. starting lineup tonight will probably consist of Flora Balogun at striker, Christian Pulisic, Malik Tillman off the sides of him with Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, Anthony Robinson off the left, so Dest off the right, Tim Ream, Mark McKenzie, probably Chris Richards at center back as well. He's coming back from injury, and then most likely Matt Freese in goal. Freese, I believe, is also from PA, so we'll have at least 2 PA players starting the match for the U.S. hopefully. But Enciso is out, and he's their best player. They do have Miguel Almiron, Paraguay off the right. He played for Atlanta United for a number of years. played in the Premier League for a little while. And then Antonio Sanabria up front as their striker. Those are the players to watch for Paraguay. That game is tonight.
But this is a great look. If they can get to the knockout round, where literally anything can happen, it would be incredible for the U.S. And if they were to somehow win a game, a match in the knockout round, it would do so much for, I think, U.S. soccer.
It would.
Having it here for 32 years, it's been 32 years, which is the point I tried to make to you the other day. Because he's thinking about going, and he's not. Look, and I completely get the expense of it. But I don't want you to sit there 10 years from now and saying, I really wish I would have done it, because it's not coming back for a while.
Yeah.
It's an every 4-year thing. Like, it's not like it's an every year deal where, like, we'll get it back in maybe 7 or 8 years. No,
it's every 4 years, and we also know it's generally booked out for a certain length of time.
Right.
We kind of know where the next few are going to be. So the U.S., if they are to win their group, would I believe get the third place team from certain groupings and how the bracket has shaped out. So I went through and did a whole breakdown. I went through, did my own prediction, every single group, every positioning, every match. I already went, I'm currently 2-0 on predicting game scores, by the way, so I'm real proud of that.
There you go.
But if everything goes how my bracket looks, the U.S. would play their match in the knockout stages, round of 32, Steve. I want you to guess, of the other 47 nations in this tournament, who would the U.S. be playing in San Francisco in the round of 32 match? What nation?
In the round of 32, would they play?
Who do you think I've got them playing?
Mexico.
Close. Canada. So there's a chance if Canada comes third, the U.S. comes first.
Yeah.
The U.S. and Canada would play in San Francisco in the round of 32. That would truly be a funny one for me. Because if you're sitting there and you're like, we're a host nation, we're going to feel good, and Canada doesn't get where they need to, and then all of a sudden you have one of the other host nations.
Yeah. Well,
it's feasible.
The Canada junior team is here next week for baseball.
They are. So the group matches started yesterday. You mentioned Mexico beat South Africa 2-0. South Africa had 2 red cards. Mexico had 1.
It's interesting you bring that up about the red cards because I'll jump back to the NBA for a moment. Something that the NBA has really stressed over and over again in recent years is passing, shooting, and flow. And this series, to me, the officiating has hurt. Please, I'm not going to get into who's benefiting by it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to get into that immature conversation. I'm talking big picture here. They've allowed so much contact in this series that it's led to flagrants, and it has really restricted the flow on the court. There's not the flow and the passing and things like that, because the NBA, it's being played more like it's the late 80s with the Pistons or the 90s with the Knicks, because that's how the Knicks played in the 90s, right? And that's how the Pistons played, right? You drive to the bucket, you've got your life in your own hand. Well, it's not that to that extent, but there's a lot of clutching and grabbing and shirt grabbing and like pushing and things like that. And now we get to soccer, same thing. The red cards, too much contact out there. People want to see skill. They want to see passing, flow. I don't mind if a guy comes up to make a great tackle in soccer. I don't mind that at all. That's part of the game. You go for it, and if you get the ball and he trips over you, so be it. That's not a foul. Okay, that's just a great defensive play. And by the way, you tripped over him. Right? That's just really good soccer when that happens. But when guys are just hitting okay, you earn your red cards in soccer. People don't want to see that kind of play. I mean, fans don't want to see that. No. They want to see that. It's called the beautiful game for a reason, because you operate in space, you operate with excellent passing, with flow, with speed. Yes, it'll get crowded in the box, right? And a corner's a little bit different because everybody's in the box together. But even then, there's not as much contact. It's just like who can get to it first. Red cards, right? That means you've crossed lines. Why are you crossing lines?
Yeah.
Right? Now, if it happens accidentally, I understand that.
Yeah.
But red cards are normally deliberate.
They are. So Mexico, South Africa was 2-0 Mexico. The story I do want to highlight in there and shout out is Raul Jimenez, the striker from Mexico. So I don't know if you had heard about this during the match, but he, in 2020, was playing for, I believe, Wolverhampton Wanderers. And he, in 2020, got a life-threatening injury where he went up for a header and clashed heads with David Luiz, a center back at the time for Arsenal.
Yeah.
He's fractured his skull.
Yeah.
It was uncertain if he would play again. He was able to come back, was not selected for Mexico's 2022 squad because of the injury, and he was still getting back to full health, and then played and scored yesterday, and so it was like a really...
It was a great moment. I also think it's great that Ian Darke is working it. Ian Darke is, to me, brilliant. I know Anders Kanter is legendary for his goal call, but in terms of the ability to call the flow of soccer, Ian Darke reminds me very much of Doc Emmerich as to how Emmerich was always flowing with prose as the hockey game is going. Ian Darke flows with prose and with phrases and phraseology. There are certain people that have that. Doc Emmerich was like that. Vin Scully was like that. Ian Darke is like that.
He's incredible.
And he does it so naturally and with ease. The expressions he throws out there.
Yeah. So we're going to get a whole lot of him throughout the World Cup.
And justifiably. It's good because he's great.
He's the best. And then yesterday, the other game, which I think is more of what you're talking about of the beautiful game, South Korea, Czech Republic, or Czechia.
Yeah.
That game ended incredibly. Scored.
And that's an upset.
It was an upset. It's going to be a really interesting group, that one. It's South Korea, Czech Republic. You've got Mexico and South Africa. It's a very interesting group because all three of those teams, bar South Africa, are all really in the same mix of place. So the fact that South Korea could get the win, get all 3 points, it's big. Czech Republic now need to bounce back really big and try and win their way to the next round. So we'll see what happens. Both teams have a lot of good players across the board. Of course, South Korea's player, Heung-min Son, plays in LA. He played for Tottenham Hotspur. A lot of good players for Czech Republic. It is going to be a very interesting group. That brings us to today's matches, which U.S. plays Paraguay. We talked about that.
Yep.
And then Canada plays Bosnia-Herzegovina. That match is at 3 o'clock today. It's in Toronto. Both teams are really good. There's some really good, talented players on both sides.
Yes.
Canada is missing their center back and their left back. So Moise Bombito is their best center back. He is out right now for this match.
I'm a big fan.
And Alphonso Davies, who is their best player. He plays left back for... Huge fan. Left back for Alphonso Davies. He plays for Bayern Munich. He's their best player. He just is. He is currently out with a muscle injury. Probably won't play this match. So
as long as he's back for San Francisco.
So Canada's hosting today's game. But I want to kind of go through some prediction-y stuff. So I have a big old World Cup predictor thing, Steve Jones. And we're going to go through, and I'm going to have you simulate essentially the whole thing. We're going to rapid fire this.
I can't pick Italy, right?
You cannot pick Italy, no. Sadly not. No Italy for you to pick. But
this isn't like the NHL, the NFL, a golf tournament, Major League Baseball, or the NBA. So this is not going to be my area of expertise, but we'll just have some fun with it.
We'll just go through it. I just want to get an idea.
No, I'll do them all. Go ahead. I could care less.
Well, I need to give me one moment. A World Cup bracket predictor, the one I used, has mine in it, and it will not take it out. So, here we go. Free. There we go. Okay, Steve Jones. So you've got Mexico, you've got South Korea, South Africa, and Czech Republic. Who's going to finish first, second, third, fourth in the group?
Czech Republic will still finish first.
Czech Republic finished first.
Yeah, despite losing.
Okay.
I think they'll still finish first because the others have to play each other.
Yeah.
And who are the other ones?
Mexico, South Korea. And
Mexico finished second.
South Korea third.
South Korea third.
Okay. Group B, Canada, Switzerland, Qatar, and Bosnia-Herzegovina. Who finishes first? Who finishes second, third, fourth?
Let's see. Bosnia. Qatar will finish last. Canada will finish third.
Canada finished third. Okay. So Switzerland second. Group C is Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti. Don't know if you saw it, but Scottish fans arrived in Boston where they're going to play their match. And apparently there's a video out there, I've seen it, of Scottish fans playing the bagpipes at 6:30 in the morning in Boston, and some really angry Massachusetts individual shouting some words in a real thick Boston accent with a coffee in hand.
Yep, those are my people.
They are your people.
And I'm not surprised they reacted that way. Go back to bed!
Too early.
What's wrong with you? I just got my Dunkin' and I'm trying to wake up. But go back to sleep. My kids are still asleep. Don't you know school's out?
Okay. So
Brazil's
Scotland.
first.
Brazil first. Morocco second. Scotland third. Haiti fourth.
Sure.
Okay. Then the U.S. group. U.S., Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey.
U.S. won.
Okay.
I will go.
Would you like any insight as we're going
Australia
through this?
2.
Australia 2.
And we'll say Paraguay 3.
Paraguay 3. Turkey 4th. Okay.
I get rid of them. They're
okay.
out. You know.
Germany, Ecuador, Ivory Coast, and Curacao.
Germany. Curaçao's pretty good.
Oh.
I'll have them third.
You have Curacao third.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ecuador or Cote d'Ivoire?
Ecuador.
Ecuador, and then Cote d'Ivoire fourth. Netherlands, Japan, Tunisia, and Sweden.
Netherlands 1, Japan 2.
Okay.
And don't care 3.
Sweden 3. Belgium, Iran, Egypt, New Zealand. We're not going to discuss anything political here on the show. These are the four nations competing.
Who are they again?
Belgium, Iran, Egypt, New Zealand.
Belgium's pretty good, actually. They're 1.
Okay.
They're 1. I will put Iran 2.
Okay.
They're mostly playing in Mexico anyway. I think they're staying in Tijuana.
They are.
I don't know if they come over to play into the U.S. at all, but I think their first matchup is in Mexico City, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, they're staying in Tijuana. And then what are the other two? It doesn't matter.
Egypt, New Zealand.
Yeah. New Zealand, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, Cape Verde.
Spain 1.
Okay. Spain, by the way, are the betting favorites to win the tournament.
Uruguay 2.
Okay.
And doesn't matter 3.
Okay. Cape Verde will put third. France,
Why not?
Senegal, Norway, Iraq.
Okay. France 1.
Okay.
Norway 2. Iraq 3.
Okay. Argentina, Austria, Algeria, Jordan.
Argentina, Austria. Who?
Argentina, Austria, Algeria, Jordan.
Argentina 1.
Big Messi fan. Huge Messi fan, Steve Jones.
Who wouldn't be? He's great.
He is great.
And who are the other ones?
Austria, Algeria.
Oh, Algeria 2. And then I'll put Austria 3.
Okay. Portugal, Colombia, Uzbekistan, and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Okay, first of all, I have to go with the motherland.
And which one's what? Portugal?
Again, this is one of the biggest surprises that when people look into my background.
Yeah. Are you Portuguese?
I'm half Portuguese.
Wow, I didn't know this. This is interesting information.
I'm half.
Okay.
I am actually half Portuguese because my mother was all Portuguese.
Wow. So Steve Jones is closely related to Cristiano Ronaldo. You heard it here first in the show.
We're tight. And
Colombia, Uzbekistan,
just
DRC.
so people know, both my grandparents actually, as children, lived in the Azores, at San Miguel in the Azores. They came here to the United States. My grandmother went through Ellis Island. My grandfather went through Fall River. And so, as you know, Gil Santos, I was talking about John Sanders earlier. Gil Santos for 4 years was the play-by-play guy at Penn State football. And I probably, as I said, I learned more sitting next to him than anybody on the planet. I was handed an incredible hand in life. And Gil was all Portuguese. And I said, well, I'm half. He goes, you are not half. Yeah, because I look blue eyes, light complected.
Yeah.
I look like my father. Okay? My brother has brown eyes, black hair, and more tan, right? Not darker, but just more tan,
Yeah.
right? Which is what my mom, right? So Penn State was playing Boston College, and it was up in Boston, and my parents went to the game, right? And as soon as Gil met my mother, he looked at me and goes, oh, my God, you are Portuguese. Right? I said, so, yes, I am half.
Okay.
All right? It's stunning. Yes,
So
it's true. So Portugal won.
Motherland won.
Motherland won.
Colombia, Uzbekistan, and DRC.
Colombia and then DRC.
Colombia and DRC. The last group. Is it going to come home? England, Croatia, Panama, and Ghana.
What, England who?
England, Croatia, Panama, Ghana. Croatia have come second and third in the last two tournaments.
Croatia won, England 2.
Okay.
And then
Panama or Ghana?
I'll go Ghana, actually.
Okay.
'Cause
Ghana.
I think Ghana's played well against the U.S. when they've had friendlies.
And
I'm shocked I even know that.
Yeah. I need you to select 8 of the 12 third-place teams, because that's how this decides who goes where. So the 12 teams, you have to pick 8 of them. We have South Korea, Canada, Scotland, Paraguay, Curacao, Sweden, New Zealand, Cape Verde, Iraq, Austria, DRC, and Ghana.
Canada,
Canada.
because I want them to go to San Francisco.
Who else stands out there for you?
Paraguay.
Paraguay, okay. We have South Korea, Scotland.
South Korea.
Okay. So Scotland.
I'm not going to pick Scotland because that means the guy with the bagpipes can go home. 6:30 in the morning, no common sense. Sorry, if you have no common sense, you should not be out there.
Girardi would say,
gone. Okay, if you have no common sense, right now he's eligible now to be a judge in Lubbock County.
Oof. Did he go to Texas Tech? We need to find out. We need to know.
Comment.
People must know. Curacao, Sweden.
Curacao. I like Curacao. They'll make it.
Sweden, New Zealand, Cape Verde.
New Zealand.
Okay. Cape Verde, Iraq, Austria, DRC, Ghana.
How about Ghana, DRC, and
Ghana, DRC, and Austria. Okay. So
I have no idea what I'm doing here.
Well, round of 32. I'm just going to go rapid fire here. Mexico or Switzerland?
See, a lot of people want to know what you think.
Well, we'll get there. I'll go through mine real fast at the end. Mexico or Switzerland?
Oh, Mexico.
Germany or Paraguay?
Germany.
Netherlands or Morocco?
Netherlands.
Brazil or Japan?
Brazil.
France or New Zealand?
France.
Ecuador or Norway?
Ecuador.
Czech Republic or Curacao?
We'll go Curacao in an upset.
Okay, the smallest nation in the World Cup ever, making it to the round of 16. Croatia or DRC?
Croatia.
The U.S. or Canada?
Canada, gone. U.S.
I was like, what are you saying, sir?
No. I had to freak you out there. Canada, gone. U.S. Team USA.
Belgium or South Korea?
Belgium.
Colombia or England?
England.
Spain or Algeria?
Spain.
Bosnia-Herzegovina or Austria?
Bosnia.
Argentina or Uruguay?
Argentina.
The motherland or Ghana?
I'm not going against the motherland. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Not until later.
Australia or Iran?
Australia.
Okay. Germany or France? Big game.
That would be incredible, and I am going to go with Germany.
Germany. Mexico or Netherlands? This is by the way, looking at this, a very 2014 rematch round of 16, which we'll get to. These two, of course, faced off.
Yeah, none of those players are playing.
They are not playing. The Mexican goalkeeper, Guillermo Ochoa, is playing, though. Mexico or Netherlands?
Mexico.
Mexico. Brazil or Ecuador?
I think playing here makes a big difference.
Yeah. Brazil or Ecuador?
Oh, Brazil.
Curacao or Croatia?
Croatia. Croatia's really good.
Yeah. England or Spain? Another big one.
Spain.
U.S. or Belgium? Another rematch of 2014.
Belgium, gone.
Belgium gone. U.S. moving on. Argentina or Australia?
Oh, Argentina.
Bosnia-Herzegovina or the motherland?
Oh, the motherland.
Okay. Well, we have some interesting matchups. We have Germany-Mexico.
Germany. They're just better.
Okay.
Sometimes you're just better.
The quarterfinals, by the way. You have the World Cup favorite Spain against the U.S.
Spain. They're just better.
Okay. Brazil or Croatia?
But it would be great for the U.S. to get to this point.
Oh, my God. It'd be incredible. Brazil or Croatia?
No, actually Croatia. I'll pick Croatia to beat Brazil.
Okay. And then match 100 of this World Cup, Lionel Messi against Cristiano Ronaldo, the first time they'll ever face in a World Cup setting.
Portugal.
We have Germany, Spain.
Spain.
Croatia, Portugal.
Croatia.
Okay. Third place match, Germany or Portugal?
Germany.
For the winner of the World Cup, Spain or Croatia? Steve Jones.
We will all be speaking Espanol.
We will all be speaking Espanol. Okay. Interesting bracket. I have saved it, and we will go through this as it goes.
No, I do it. I just did.
For me, I have my group winners. I'll go real fast here. I've got South Korea, Mexico, Czech Republic, South Africa, Switzerland, Bosnia, Canada, Qatar, Morocco, Brazil.
But people want to know what you think. They don't care what I think.
Well, I'm going through mine now. This is mine.
I know, but we should have taken more time on yours.
I'll take my time through the knockouts. This is an interesting one.
Go ahead.
Morocco, Brazil, Scotland, Haiti. USA, Turkey, Paraguay, Australia. Ivory Coast, Ecuador, Germany in third. Curacao in fourth. Sweden, Netherlands, Japan, Tunisia. Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand. Spain, Uruguay, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, Senegal, France, Norway, Iraq, Argentina, Algeria, Austria, Jordan, Portugal, Colombia, DRC, Uzbekistan, England, Croatia, Ghana, Panama. The teams I have that are the 8 of the 12. I know, we'll get there in a second. Czech, Canada, Paraguay, Germany, Japan.
You spent all this time going through mine. Yours is like people.
Let me. I'll go through it in the group stages.
I'm just saying that I respect your knowledge. That's why I'm saying it's better than me doing it.
Well, so we'll take more time then. So Group A, South Korea I think is the best team. I think Mexico's going to get through based on the fact they're home, and then Czech Republic I think are good, but the loss to South Korea was a lot, so I have them third. I did this yesterday, by the way, before the matches kicked off.
Okay, good. That's okay.
I have Switzerland in first. I think they're the best team in Group B. Bosnia's got some good talent, but we don't know how good they are. Canada's got issues at the back with their injuries. So I have Switzerland, Bosnia, and then Canada. Morocco is probably...
Do you have Canada?
I do. They're one of the teams I have going through.
Do you have them playing in San Francisco?
I do.
Thank you.
We both have the exact same matchup.
That's all I need.
We have Morocco, who I think is one of the best teams in the tournament. They're in first. Brazil come in second in their group. They have issues in their team. It's just a really weird mix for them at the back. And then Scotland and then Haiti. I do not have Scotland going through, so that fan will not be in Boston much longer.
I'll tell you right now, that sucker there, I'll put him on a ship right now.
You better watch out for some flying Dunkin' Donuts if you ask me.
I'll tell you right now, put him on a ship right now. He does not get it.
I have the U.S. winning the group, Turkey coming second, Paraguay in third, and then Australia coming in fourth. Then you move on down. Ivory Coast are my group winners for E. Ecuador.
Ivory Coast.
I think they're a really good team. I think Ecuador is the best defensive team in the competition. Germany have really big issues up front. They don't have a good striking option, so they're going to struggle a little bit. And Curacao in third or fourth. Sweden, Netherlands go through. Japan is again a good team, but Tunisia come in fourth. Group G, Belgium, Egypt.
It's too bad about the Tunisia thing.
I know. Iran in third. I have them going through in the third place slot. And then Spain and Uruguay. I think they're going to kind of cakewalk Group H. and then Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. Then Senegal in first, France in second, Norway go through with their incredible team in third. Got just a big group. Iraq in fourth. Argentina and Algeria through with Austria and then Jordan in fourth. The motherland, Portugal, with Colombia going through, and then the DRC and Uzbekistan. And then England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. I think England have too much, so do Croatia. Ghana's team is really weird. So my group stages are somewhat similar to yours. I have Ivory Coast beating Paraguay.
This should disappoint you.
Yeah. So I have the Ivory Coast beating Paraguay in the first matchup. Then Senegal beating Japan. I then have Mexico beating Bosnia to go through, and then Brazil beating Sweden. And then Morocco versus...
Oh, yeah, Sweden's actually pretty good, aren't they?
Sweden's got some good strikers. Yeah. They have a really weird team throughout the back of their defense is a little suspect. I'll put it that way. Morocco against Netherlands. I think Morocco win. I think they're just too good. Ecuador beat France. I think France has a really big issue outside of their attackers. They have the best attacking lineup in the whole World Cup. The rest of it, not so much.
Plus, they're France.
And I think they're going to have a bad one.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I feel strong about France right now because of Wembanyama, so I feel really strongly about them. Might be influencing my decision here, but Ecuador goes through.
Are you mad at Wemby? Or
maybe. I have Germany beating South Korea. I then have England beating Austria. And then the other round of 32s, I have Croatia beating Colombia, Spain beating Algeria, the U.S. beating Canada, Belgium beating the Czech Republic, Argentina beating Uruguay, Turkey beating Egypt, Iran beating Switzerland, and then Norway beating the homeland. I'm sorry. I apologize. Now that I know, I apologize.
I really like...
Yeah. I'm hitting your heart. I'm hitting your heart right here. Right here.
You can tell I'm wounded.
You are. Portugal, by the way, are the second betting odd favorite to win this whole tournament. France are third. So two of them I have out in the 32s. Then, Ivory Coast lose to Senegal, and Brazil beat Mexico, which means Brazil versus Senegal. I have Senegal going through to the final four, I guess we'll call it now. I then have Morocco beating Ecuador, England beat Germany, and then England beat Morocco. England finally have their shot. I have Spain beating Croatia, and the U.S. beating Belgium to set up the U.S. versus Spain. And I think for the U.S., this will be Spain without the S. It will be pain. Similar to you, I have Spain going through. Do you like my rhyming abilities here?
I'm overtaken. I feel like I'm sitting with James Dolan.
Thank you. Argentina, Turkey. I think Turkey beat Argentina. You're sitting here with Messi, and this Argentina team essentially is the same team from 4 years ago, just really old. And Messi is past his prime. He's still great.
So you're saying age is a...
I think age catches up to Argentina here. Their defense is pretty much...
This is now becoming an age thing.
It is.
Okay.
And then I have Norway beating Iran, and then Norway beat Turkey. Norway have a really good team. I then have England beating Norway, though. And then Spain beat Senegal to set up a matchup of Spain versus England. That is a real big one. I have England winning it all, Spain in second, Norway in third, Senegal in fourth. I'll put this out there right now. The flops are, of course, France and Portugal, if this all falls how I have it, and Germany. My dark horse is Senegal. They're a really strong team throughout. And Golden Boot is Harry Kane for England. And then, you don't know this person, but I'm going to say Talby is going to be...
No, Talby's big time. I mean, I have no idea.
Can you tell me where Chemsdean Talby plays, Steve Jones? What nation? He plays for Morocco. Put that out there. So he's the player I have. I think
he plays for Morocco, doesn't he?
He is a Sunderland player and plays for Morocco. He is a winger off the left, I believe. So he's who I have as the player to watch here. So I have England, Steve Jones. You have Spain. We will
have
talk
England
about this
winning?
I have England finally bringing it home.
Why?
I feel like
that's a team that has talent and a mental block.
I agree. The issue is...
You're shocked I know that.
I do know that. The issue is I think this is the year finally where just like the chips fall. France have issue. Everyone's got an issue somewhere. This is the one year where they're going to find, okay, we have no problems. Of course, England have not won since '66. And the joke is, it's coming home. There's a whole song about it. England fans chant. Finally, it is going to come home to their quote-unquote motherland.
Well, I mean, just so you know, it's like when the United States, 1950, Walter Barr, Penn State soccer coach extraordinaire, right? Right? Assisted on the goal for the United States. Just so you know, that's That's Chris and Matt Barr's dad.
Okay. Well, I also want to shout out. I know I don't believe any Penn State players in the tournament. There are some Syracuse players though, so I want to shout out Miles Robinson for the U.S. and then Tyon Buchanan for Canada. He's playing off the right wing for them, so I want to shout them out because,
there's nothing like a good Syracuse soccer player.
I got to see Tyon Buchanan play in Syracuse. I got to see him play. He was really good.
No, he still talks about it.
I know. Just like how Saquon Barkley talks about Jason Lord all the time.
Yeah, except that's actually more of a restraining order conversation.
Thank you for listening to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, a 7 Mountain Media production. Come back at 11 every weekday for analysis of the latest happening in the sports landscape. From college football to European soccer, Steve and Kyle cover it all on Sports Talk with Steve Jones.